Hi everyone, welcome to the weekly astrology and pick a crystal reading for the week ahead, which is for the dates of May 18th through to 24th, 2020. Before I talk about the astrology, have a look at the crystals and see what you're drawn to for the card portion of the reading. I'm using a new deck this week actually, which I'm excited to use. This is the Daily Crystal Inspiration Oracle, and it's by Heather Askinozy. And I just really like this deck. You'll see the cards when I turn them over. They're really cool and very simple but sort of to the point messages, which I really like, as well as the crystals. So if you know about crystals, if you know about how the crystals respond to different chakras and all that sort of thing, or relate to different chakras, you can get a lot of meaning out of them. It does come with a guidebook as well, so it's pretty cool. But anyway, so the first one is the clear quartz point. Okay, so that's number one if you're drawn to that. The second item here is actually a pendulum. I don't usually pick something like this, but I was drawn to it today. So this is a lovely calcite, orange calcite pendulum. The third one is Lepidolite, which is really good for anxiety and feeling calm. And the last one, number four, is I've used this one before. This beautiful Labradorite with some little bit of flashes in there, but every time I have it in this room, it's not really easy to see the flashes here, but it does have some pretty ones in there. Oh, there we go. There's a little bit there. Okay, so Labradorite is good for intuition, seeing the good out of difficult situations, and spiritual growth as well. So anyway, those are the crystals for the cards, and there's 3 cards per message for this week. So these are weekly messages, but first I'm going to talk about the astrology. So a lot happening this week. As you know, and I mentioned last week, we're in a big retrograde cycle at the moment with a lot of planets retrograde. Saturn's retrograde, Venus in Gemini retrograde, Jupiter retrograde in Capricorn, and what else? Pluto's also retrograde. Yeah, so that's a lot of retrograde energy. Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, Venus. And the Venus retrograde is the shortest one, so that only lasts until, oh gosh, what is it? I can never remember off the top of my head. I mentioned it last week. I think it's around the end of June or July. I don't know. I'll have to write it down underneath this video if you want to know. But this week we have a lot of things in Gemini. We have the Sun, the new moon in Gemini, Mercury in Gemini, Venus in Gemini, obviously, as I just mentioned, retrograde. So a lot of Gemini energy, and the Sun actually moves into Gemini from Thursday, the 21st of May. And it's my birthday this week on the 20th of May. Had to mention that, of course. I'm a Taurus. I'm on the cusp of Taurus and Gemini, so I'm like 29 degrees of Taurus, right on the very end there of Taurus. So powerful energies with Gemini. Gemini, obviously it's about communication, it's about short trips and light-hearted energy, very curious energy, the Gemini energy is. And with the Venus going retrograde, I mentioned it last week, it is a time to kind of really reevaluate what you want out of your relationships, what you want financially as well, because Venus does relate to finances. And it's time to really think about these things and kind of feel where you stand and think about where you stand on these issues that are important to you. It's not really the best time to take huge actions, especially with the Saturn retrograde. At the same time, not the best time to take huge steps forward. If something comes to you and an opportunity is presented to you, that's like something amazing that you've always wanted. I'm not saying don't take it, but just understand that whenever you do make a big decision under a Saturn retrograde, it will involve a lot of groundwork, a lot of work, basically. And I mentioned that last week. The Jupiter retrograde cycle will see us feeling a lot of internal growth, a lot sort of going on internally, processing a lot internally, and all that sort of thing. If you're someone that has, for example, Jupiter retrograde in your natal chart, this can be a time of actually external growth for you, which is sort of the opposite to majority of people have Jupiter direct in their chart, but those people that have Jupiter retrograde will experience this time as a time of a push forward. So other stuff going on this week, the new moon in Gemini is at 2 degrees of Gemini, and new moons are very nice for new beginning energy and fresh energy, and it might be a chance to think about what you want to create and manifest, because Gemini is Mercury ruled, and Mercury is an energy that likes to think about things and manifest them. Mercury is also like the Magician card in Tarot, and the Magician is all about manifesting. So yeah, this is a new beginning, powerful new beginning energy. Have a look, if you know your chart, where this new moon at 2 degrees of Gemini lands in your chart. So that will tell you a bit more based on the house. You know, with other stuff this week, there is a little bit of confusion this week because of the Mercury in Gemini square with Neptune in Pisces, and also Venus square Neptune this week. There could be some insecurities in love, insecurities in relationships, uncertainty, feeling unsure, wanting to sort of observe situations before kind of thinking about them in a more solid manner, kind of like seeing where you know, where things are at, kind of observing things, and not being too sort of serious, because, you know, Gemini energy is kind of not super serious. I mean, I'm not saying Geminis can't be serious, they can be, obviously, because, you know, you're looking at a person and their whole chart, that's a different matter. But these energies at the moment, it's a time to process things and think things through. And as I said, there could be some confusion this week because of Mercury square Neptune and Venus square Neptune. Neptune does confuse things, and especially when it's a square. Mercury is our thinking and our plans, travel plans, short distance travel, communications, connections with people. Venus is finances and love and relationships. So as I said, if you feel a little bit unsure this week, or that you're sort of processing things a lot more and you don't feel very decided about things, that's because of that energy, which is quite strong this week. The new moon in Gemini happens, as I said, on, well, the sun goes into Gemini on Thursday the 21st of May, and that's when the new moon happens. So yeah, there's some interesting aspects with the new moon. It does trine with Saturn, so that's quite a stabilizing energy, which is quite good. So anything that you begin this week with that new moon in Gemini could have a powerful potential with it, being that it's trine with Saturn. Saturn creates longevity and stability, and it could be even something, for some people, there could be an element of something from the past because of that retrograde Saturn. But something from the past could be helping you to move forward in some way. So, depending on your situation. So, yeah. I think that's the main stuff. Oh, the sun, on Sunday, Mars also sextiles with Uranus. So, Mars in Pisces sextiles with Uranus in Taurus at the very end of this week. So, that's quite a nice energy for a bit of fun. Or doing something creative, something different. Feeling connected possibly to nature, spirituality. Yeah, creative energy, I feel, with that. So that's the majority of what I wanted to talk about. If you'd like to book a reading with me, just go to the link below. Turnaround time at the moment is 7 to about 14 business days, because I'm quite busy, so I need to give myself time to get through everything. And as I said, I'm still home. I said last week I'm still homeschooling my son. The kids have only gone back to school 1 day a week here, so 1 day a week last week, 1 day a week this week, and I think from next week they start to maybe go a little bit more, is what I've heard, but we're yet to hear for sure. So once that happens, I'll be able to focus more on my work and in terms of getting readings out a bit faster. So thank you to all my clients who are waiting for readings and who have been patient with me during this time. I really appreciate it. And let's look at the cards for this week. Okay, so if you chose the clear quartz, these are your messages. I'm going to start with the crystal, daily crystal inspiration. Okay, so you guys have jade, and the card says, be the bigger person. Interesting. So you also have the high priestess. Ooh, look at that, the redback spider. That's a beautiful card. I absolutely love that. Spiders represent creativity. The redback spider is actually an Australian spider, which has some venom in it. It won't kill you, but if you, I mean, in the years ago, they used to say, you know, back in the 80s, they used to say the redback spider could kill people, and had killed, you know, sadly had killed young people, like, on the occasion, because they didn't know that they needed to get medical attention. But these days, you know, you can get some kind of anti-venom, but it still can make you feel quite sick. I know someone that was bitten by a redback and they felt nauseous for a week, even though they went to the doctor and got the treatment. So there's something here of very powerful energy. I just want to focus on this card for a minute before I put the others down. The high priestess is about knowledge and wisdom. What is your intuition telling you? Is your intuition warning you about something? Because this redback spider, you know, it could have been any spider, but they chose to use a redback, and that's very interesting, because it's like you might be dealing with someone who's a little bit Scorpio in nature, or has strong Pluto energy in their astrology, or someone who has an element of being in touch with their darker side, perhaps. And that's not always a bad thing. It depends how they use it. But it could be just a little bit of a warning here to be very aware of how close you're getting to a situation, with a relationship is what I'm actually feeling here. Now, that's not going to be for everyone. I'm just going to see what the other messages are, but that was the first thing that came to me. So, all right, so this is definitely has a vibe of relationships, but the messages will be different for different people. So I'm just going to go through the different messages as I pick out different messages for different people watching. So there could be a couple of people watching or several people watching here where you are already in a relationship, okay? So what I feel with that is if you're already in a relationship, heart chakra here, it says be the bigger person. There's something that you need to communicate about what your plans, because with the spider weaving the web, it's like, you know, the spider weaves a web to, you know, draw in its prey, but also, you know, it needs to survive like that. It needs to live, and that's its food, and that's its survival, and that's its life. Its livelihood is its web. So there's something here about if you're in a relationship, working together is what I'm getting. Something about needing to work together to be on the same page about something. Connecting more with your heart and thinking about what the other person's experiencing. I'm really getting that here. So, you know, tuning into what the other person's needs are, or asking them, communicating with them, because there might be a feeling here of uncertainty here with the High Priestess, is that you're just kind of like picking up on signals and trying to interpret them, and you may be completely right, but you may be missing some information by being more direct and asking the person. Or it could be that you've asked the person and they're not giving you all the information and you need to use your intuition more. Could be either one of those. The Triumph card is fantastic. It says that, you know, keep working on this like the spider patiently weaves its web. Keep working on this because you will triumph in this situation. So whatever this difficulty is, whether it's to do with a relationship or, you know, it might be something else for some people, definitely involves heart chakra energy because of the jade. It definitely involves being the person that has to rise above the lower vibrational frequencies, so the lower energies of other people, so maybe other people's difficult emotions. And doing so, being compassionate and coming from your heart will actually allow you to triumph in this situation, which is this is a fantastic card here. So I really like that. Also, I'm getting the word patience for some people, because think about how patient the spider has to be to weave its web, and a storm can just come along and just totally destroy that web in seconds, and then the spider will just start again and start, you know, all over again. And so there's definitely, I'm getting the word patience really strongly here, and having a long-term view about something is going to be important rather than just wanting quick fixes right now. It's not the time for quick fixes. It's a time for a long view for you, and looking at how, you know, things will unfold in time, and just taking step by step, and you will triumph out of this situation. I really love those messages. That was really cool. All right, so the next lot is for those that chose the orange calcite. All right, so you guys have chrysoprase. Allow yourself to receive. Well, that's cool. Okay, choose wisely. And the tarot card is the moon. Wow. Again, a message about intuition with the moon here. Also, the moon can refer to confusion. Okay, so maybe this week there's something to do with you're trying to decide about what you want to do. Again, we have heart chakra energy here with the green crystal. That's the second stone. The first people had the jade, so that's interesting. 2 green gemstones come up, and this has got green as well. So definitely heart chakra here. Making decisions. The 7, we had a 7 before for the first lot. They also had the 7 on the Triumph card. You guys have 7 on Choose Wisely. There's a need to meditate here and really tune into your emotions with the moon and decide what it is that you want to do next. Could be a decision about your career, your path, passions, something that you want to do, a hobby, or a new career or a new vocation of some kind. The moon card is interesting because it can also talk about some kind of lack of clarity. Again, we have that message, you know, and this week we have that Mercury square Neptune that I talked about, Venus square Neptune, which is, I mentioned before I started the cards. If, you know, you're experiencing confusion this week, that is quite normal with the energies going on. But even more important for you to tune into your intuition because of that. So I'll just get that card closer because it's pretty cool. I really like that. The owl flying over the moon. So owls represent wisdom and, you know, seeing and sensing deeply through the wisdom of your heart. Interesting because we have heart and heart colors here, the green. And let that guide you. And I'm also getting another message that, you know, you don't have to snap your fingers and make a decision right now about something. You've got time. That's what I'm feeling with that. So if you've been feeling a bit stressed, like, oh, I really want to do this, but then I'm not sure how to go about this, it's unfolding slowly. Sorry, I'm just going to drink my tea. Excuse me. It's unfolding slowly for you, and you might just feel some pressure this week or some confusion around your path and what you want to do next. But the Choose Wisely card is just basically telling you to open up to your heart center more so that you can make a choice, but understand that you don't have to make a snap decision right now is what I'm feeling, okay? So you do have time, as I said. Allow yourself to receive is really interesting, because what I'm getting here also, and again, I might just be speaking to a few people here, I'm not sure, because, you know, these are general readings, so it's hard to say. But you may be someone that gives a lot, is what I'm feeling here with the moon. You could be quite emotional, quite open, or quite sensitive. And I feel like you give a lot, and you need to sort of remind yourself that you need to receive as well to keep the balance and the harmony going of the energy exchange and the energy flow. Because if you're always giving, there's some kind of insecurity that can come from that sort of blocks receiving in some way. So make sure that you give to yourself, that you fill your own cup, you know, self-love, self-care, and you pull your energy back sometimes to just have stillness, meditate, to just allow for things to come to you. Because if you're pushing too hard, you can tend to push things away. It's just how energy works. So yeah, interesting. All right. So this is the Lepidolite. Okay, so let's see what you guys have. Another green crystal. That's so eerie. They're all green today. Aquamarine. That's more of a greeny coloured aquamarine in that picture. Aquamarine sometimes has a bit of a blue quality, but this one doesn't. Two of Swords. Okay. And more green energy. Rest and rejuvenate. Wow. Oh, gosh. Okay. A very strong energy I'm getting here. All right. So for this group, for the people that chose this crystal, Lepidolite, I feel this week there is a need to slow down your energy. And, you know, you're probably thinking, well, you know, things are pretty slow because of, you know, the lockdown's still happening in a lot of areas. Lucky here in Sydney, things are starting to slowly open up again, which is nice. But this is a very serene energy here. It's actually really beautiful. I am getting messages about getting out in nature. Look, with the Two of Swords, there could be issues around trying to make up your mind about something, a decision. Here we have on the card, sorry, I forgot to mention, it actually says go with the flow. Aquamarine, go with the flow. And yeah, see, because there's something that's bothering you mentally, perhaps, because of this Two of Swords coming up here. A decision or being back and forth in your mind, okay? And it isn't the right time to make that decision according to this layout here with the Rest and Rejuvenate card. It's actually suggesting meditation here. If you see that guy, he's meditating in the picture. And the serenity here from nature, I feel like if you can get to water, if you live near water, or if you can get out for a walk somewhere, you know, fairly regularly, it's actually going to help clear your mind and let things just, you'll get signs from nature, I feel. And there's a message about there's not a need to make a swift decision right now. Even though you may feel mentally that you should or that you have to, you're being advised to go with the flow. Pretty straightforward message this week for this one. I don't feel too much else, except for the green is very much about nature and connecting with your heart wisdom and the importance of that. And that's going to be very healing. I'm getting the word healing now as well. So it's a healing week for you. It's a restful week for you if you chose this one. Or it's a week to, you know, make sure you allocate time for meditation, rest, walks in nature, peaceful things that can bring you back to center, okay? So that's really strong, super strong. And there may be insights coming to you from your meditation or from going with the flow rather than forcing things. You may actually realize something rather than just trying to nut it out in your mind all the time. Okay, so the last one is the Labradorite. You guys have the Seven of Pentacles, okay. Turquoise, prioritize your health. And Crown Chakra, another 7, that's so eerie. And another greeny card. I mean, this is so spooky because so much green this week. Look at all the crystals that came out this week. Green, green, green. Darker green there, but it's all green. And then this is turquoise, is, you know, has an element of greeny blue in it. It's turquoise, but still, it's along the same lines. And we had 7s before. We had 2 7s. The Choose Wisely card from the other deck and the Triumph card. It's so spooky, the patterns that come out. So, wow. Okay. Goodness me. So the Seven of Pentacles is about working and sort of feeling a little bit like a bit lackluster about things, like trying to sort of get your pentacles lined up, you know, trying to gather together the funds for something, trying to save money, feeling a little bit lackluster about the work situation, perhaps a little bit bored or a little bit heavy or dull is what I'm picking up on intuitively. So you might be in a job situation that's just not ideal at the moment. But what I'm getting with this is the energy here is, you know, just doing what you need to do right now. And sometimes we are in that situation. And I'm getting the word complaint or complaining. So try to avoid, if you can. Sometimes we need to vent, that's all good. But try to avoid being in a habit of complaining, because that's sort of going to drag your energy down. And just, if you have to put that negative energy, you can channel it into looking for a new situation. You may be wanting a new job. Some people may be wanting a new job with this energy. Prioritize your health is saying, look, right now you may be feeling a bit tired because of the work situation here, or the daily routine that's kind of a little bit dull in some way. Very earthy energy here, so it's like definitely routine, practical things. You know, for most people I do feel it's work. For other people it's just the feeling of Groundhog Day, you know, that type of energy. And this here with the prioritize your health, it's saying, look, make sure that you're doing things to boost your immune system. You know, like some people like to take vitamin C or whatever it is. You know, obviously I'm not going to advise on that, I'm not a health professional, but you know, look into what works for your health. I know for me, I take certain herbal remedies that give me better energy, and if I don't take them, then I always find that I get sick easily. Once I take them again regularly, I never get sick. So you got to find what works for you for health. But there's something here about the throat chakra as well, and your daily health, and also crown chakra comes up. So the crown and throat chakra, a little bit, there's a sensitive energy coming through with that. So you may be, you know, needing to work on your health so that you feel energetically good as well, if that makes sense. Also with the throat chakra, speaking up at the right time is important for you this week, and listening to your higher self with the crown chakra. So you may even be receiving messages from your guides this week with the crown chakra. All right, so those are the messages this week, guys. I hope you enjoyed the reading, and as I said, if you'd like to book a reading, go to the link below. If you don't follow me online on other places, you can find me on Instagram, Susan Starlight. You can find me on Facebook, my Facebook business page, Susan Rodeo, Psychic Medium Astrologer. You can also find my other YouTube channel, which is, I have a lot of videos about astrology if you're trying to learn about astrology, Starlight Oracle. And if you like this video, make sure you click the like and subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. Have a fantastic week and enjoy the new moon in Gemini. Bye.